So today I am going to take up on income from other sources. Very simple, short, and we will proceed next to clubbing and possibly to set off. These three should be studied together. Today itself it may not be possible to attack all that, but I can take up this one. What is that you understand from income from other sources? What is it you understand from income from other sources?
Income that you receive from, apart from the income that you receive to the balance.
It should be an income arising to the assessee, which cannot be fitted into any of the other four heads. Those items will come under income from other sources. Correct. What are the items of income which you foresee could be there under income from other sources?
Interest on FD, interest on FD account.
That's all. Lucky dip. Okay. Okay. See, in fact, we have host of items. First one is dividend. That is where dividend distribution tax not paid. Correct. First one is dividend. How many items that you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 items that you have. So I will just put it like this way. Heads of income, under that the last one you will be having. What is the page number? 304. Income from other sources. Our institute study material for IPCC and FINAV are same. Do you know that? For certain topics it's all same. Salary same, house property same, PGVP same, capital gain same, income from other sources same. No joking. Resident, everything same. So therefore, in IPCC class I used to tell, not everything that you have in institute study material I will be in a position to teach. Say you are a kid. So you are having milk as the primary food. Don't, what should I say, have a feel that I should eat rice and all that. At that particular point of time, you will take it up. For you, milk will not be there, only rice. So, but matter is going to be same. Our material is going to be same. Look into that first thing that we are talking about. Dividend income. Covered under section 222A to E. It is deemed dividend. What is that? Where DDT not paid or deemed dividend. What is the second one? You have seen? Casual income. What is this casual income? Racehorse income. See, there are two different, this racehorse and all that you have. Owning and maintaining racehorse is different. Racehorse income is different. What is the difference between the two? If I were to be the owner of the horse, it is owning and maintaining of racehorses. There are two opinions that you have. People say, some are saying that it should be taken up under income from other sources. Some people say that it should be taken under profits and gains from business or profession. Correct? So, this racehorse is nothing but a person who is participating in the game and is winning it. See, it is winning from racehorses. It is winning from racehorses. Card games. puzzles, lottery, etc. These are all lucky day television program in which they just provide you, and if you buy during Deepavali or Pongal time more than 50,000, then your name will be put into that lottery. Then that point of time it may not be in the form of cash, it may be in the form of Mercedes Benz Audi 8. So possibly person may be finding it very difficult to put petrol. So it is something like elephant given as gift. Before he dies, elephant dies, he will die. So much is the food that he has got to give. Okay. So this third portion is a very important portion. The entire IFOS is lying only in the third bunch. What is that? Gifts and inadequate consideration. Gifts and inadequate consideration. When it exceeds rupees 50,000 per annum, we will go into greater details there. The entire IFOS lying only in the third. Rest 4 not applicable to all. Let's see. Just I want to maintain that order. There is a reason why I just opened it up. So they will 4. What is that? Transfer of shares without consideration for inadequate consideration for SEPN firms. Transfer of shares. Correct. Transfer of shares. Okay. Then consideration in received in excess of consideration, or I will put it this way, security premium. In excess of fair market value, not public issue. Then I will explain each one. 6. I will just go by the same order because you refer, next one, interest on interest received. Interest on enhanced compensation. This is the latest one or feature. That's all. Bond washing and all that I will discuss later. How many items that you have in the case of income from other sources? 7 items. The maximum focus is only on this. Rest of which are very easily you can knock it off. Okay. So therefore focus should be more on to this area. Correct. Rest of the areas we will do. A separate discussion we will be making on deemed dividend. 22 A to E we will have a separate discussion. On that we had a problem in May 15. November 15 we never had any problem on that. May 16 we may have a problem, or November 16 we may have a problem. We do not know. So this portion is a separate portion we will discuss. This is an item where there is no chapter 68 deduction you can claim. So you have got to pay flat 30%. So when we have initially reported flat system and slab system and all that. So that point of time in the second class I told you that in the case of casual income, where a person being a recipient, being an individual, even though he is coming under slab system, for this item of income there is no slab that is available, there is no chapter 68 deductions would be available, and his income, casual income will be taxed at the maximum marginal rate of 30% on the casual income. Correct. So, this is the one that we will take up. Gifts and inadequate consideration when it exceeds 50,000 per annum. What is this? Gifts. We will take up that gifts portion now. Which are all the items that we are talking about as gifts? Supposing Mr. A gifting Mr. X his car. Can that be considered as income in the hands of Mr. X, the recipient of the car?
Relationship criteria.
Relationship criteria. They are not related. What and all you can take it up as gifts. Gifts and inadequate consideration. Gifts and inadequate consideration. They are discussing in three important manner. One is cash. The other one is movable. The other one being immovable. How many items are covered under gifts and inadequate consideration? 3 items only. Those 3 items are cash, movable items and immovable items. Cash, on which I don't have to explain anything more than the normal understanding what we have as cash. You cannot take fixed deposit as a cash. Cash means cash. Correct? Movable items. What are the movable items that you can have? No. Here you have got to be very careful. The list is exhaustive list. If the item that you are talking about as gift or having inadequate consideration, if it is not falling in the list, then the receipt of that particular item will not be taken up as income at all. What is the first one? Shares and securities. Then jewelry. Then bullion. Then so painting, or I will put it this way, drawing, painting, then sculptures and any work of art. Do you know where these items that on the other day we have just made as discussion? Exception to personal effects. Briefly, I was just referring about capital asset, no? Capital asset, whether it is personally related or related to business or capital asset, except the following. What are those following? No. Personal effects, rural agricultural land, stock in trade, and the bond. In personal effects, we had one exception, no? So, those items will automatically be taken under capital asset. That exception only they have borrowed and kept. So, only one thing that is extra is shares and securities. So, this limit of 50,000 per annum is individually available. So, you can have cash gift of 50,000, jewelry to the extent of 50,000, immovable property, inadequate consideration, or the immovable property worth should be 50,000. So, therefore, you can accommodate 50,000 in each limits. It is not aggregate of all these 3 should be taken up as 50,000. So, on individual count it is 50,000. But in this, if you have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, in this you have got aggregate. Are you understanding, all of you? See, because all these doubts I had when I was just preparing for the class. So for practice I was not really worried because on these issues we don't have much of a problem. Because we ourselves will clearly pass general intent and keep the books ready. So now, what is the limit? In this case, cash. Less than or equal to 50,000, no income. More than 50,000, whole amount is income. Therefore, if you have received 50,000, if somebody is giving 1 rupee, matter is over. The entire 50,001 will be taken for taxation. Just for joke I am telling you. So don't have a feeling that it is above 50,000 only will be captured as income. Entire amount is an income. Okay. In this case, once again, less than or equal to 50,000, no income. See, sometimes what will happen is that shares and securities may be offered at a concessional rate. So all that may be there. So when we say as gift and inadequate consideration, that is what you have got to understand. So therefore it is not only gift. Gift includes inadequate consideration. Greater than 50,000, it is maintained, whole amount is income. Correct. Immobile, less than or equal to 50,000, no income. Greater than 50,000, or for all these I could have just done. Anyway, in your noting you just make note like that. For all the three, see, otherwise you will get an impression all the three together will be 50,000. So it is better we will write whole amount is income. Whole amount is income. So 50,000 is separate. So limit is separate. Separate for three different source. Come on. Can you just make note? See, other items I will explain maybe in the next class. Okay. The moment you take up a problem, you will feel very comfortable to handle. I can tell for sure. Shall I proceed to next? Interest on enhanced compensation and forfeiture. Shall I proceed? So develop a lot of speed writing. Exceptions are always there in all these cases. Limit is separate for three different sources. Okay. Exceptions are there. Exceptions are there. What do you mean by exceptions?
If amount exceeds 50,000, but still it is not taxable. It's from the related. It is received on occasions.
On the occasion of the marriage, when there is a gift. So exceptions are amongst relatives. Gifts amongst relatives. Who are relatives? That is a separate issue that we have to take up. Gift on the occasion of marriage. Not necessarily that it should be on the day of marriage. Right? On the occasion of the marriage, in the sense, around that marriage time it should be done. Uncle or auntie leaving America some 15 days before the marriage, or they come after the marriage 15 days or 20 days. There is a chance that they will gift and they will push off before the marriage, or they will gift it after 15-20 days of the marriage. See, you can't just expect your provision where they could just impose saying that it should be on the day of marriage, on the occasion of the marriage. Okay. So, the gift which have just come in the form of gift through will. Okay, gift through will. And donor in contemplation of death. What is this in contemplation of death? You have seen a lot of cinema movies, old cinema movies. Old man would like to, he will not give gift in the contemplation of death, but he will put two families which are having a fight. Girl on one side, boy on the other side, he wants to get married and all that, and don't fight. And upon giving promise, he will pass away immediately. So where he knows that a death is going to occur, that disease is so, what should I say, critical. It may aggravate in another 5 days or 10 days or something like that. So that point of time, he may not have that will to be prepared and to be done, and that point of time he will communicate, yes, this is the way I am just doing. Correct, no? So that sort of thing, if a person is just receiving, even from a non-relative, relative means it will come death. I do not know as whether you remember such advertisements. iFix or M-Fix, M-Seal. M-Seal ad you have seen? Not seen. This very cruel ad. The house will be leaking. So drops of water when rain is on, no? So just in the background of that particular entry point of the room, there is an old man who will be coughing, and a very weak person. Possibly is having a lot of properties in his hands, but not having that sense to do all these operations, to partition and all that. Possibly the person who is coming in the advertisement could be related to that particular person, maybe a son. Is so greedy, he will fill everything and take the impression, right or left, I just don't remember. Right or left impression, thumb impression, he will take on the stamp document. God is very great, that is what he will take that outside. See, the moment he had taken the thumb impression of that old man, he will not even care to keep the hand in a very gentle way back to the bed. The moment he is taking, he will drop the hand just like that.
So, when the thumb impression is being placed, he is holding after that he just leaves it.
So, if the person who had just created the advertisement is really creative, so let that not happen to anybody. But he just tells this is the cruel thing he did. He will take the document out. Unfortunately for him, the drop of water will fall on the number which was handwritten with ink pen. And on the top of that, the reaction of this person is that he will remove the water and the number will also vanish. If it is 10 lakhs, not and the last two will go, this one will go. That one will go. So, God is there in all places. So, what is that? So, that particular scenario is contemplation of death. Actually, the donor should be willingly doing, but in this case it was, the donee is forcibly taking. He is exploiting the scenario. This is a real cruel thing. If you have not seen the advertisement, then it is very good. I should not narrate that also. It's okay. Exceptional cases that they are going to talk from any relative on the occasion of marriage, under a will or way of inheritance, contemplation of death. This too we have just covered. Any money received from local authority. Say, any money received from local authority. Supposing Chennai Corporation is giving you 75,000 as relief. Income tax officer cannot catch you. Are you understanding, all of you? So, that they have just mentioned it. Any money from local authority as defined. From local authority. Then, say, you may be having a medical institution, educational institution, they may also provide you that. So, how they can provide all that is that you would have seen a lot of donations people just accept. Heart failure is there, I don't have adequate income, they post. Or it may be a person who is deserved to get admitted in medical college, not having money. There are a lot of institutions that will be helping them. Look into that from any fund, foundation or any university or other education institution or hospital, other medical institution or any trust report under section 1023C. So, if you have received like that, that cannot be taken for taxation. And from any trust or institution under 12AA would be outside the ambit of 5627. These are all what we are discussing are all 5627. Do you know this 5627 is so important? 7 items that you have in income from other sources. In movable items, how many items that you have? 7 items you are having. Now check up what are those 7. Don't look at the notebook. Share securities.
Jewelry, bullion, drawing, paintings, drawings, sculpture, artwork.
That's all. I think we have exhausted all the same. So you tell in a particular order, so you can easily remember. So from local authority, from institutions covered under 1023C. Educational institution may also be giving. Say here I have taken up gift, will, etc. in one. Actually it is 2. Then what is the last one? 12AA. From trust. Registered under 12AA. To section 12AA. Okay. Continue this one. How to crack the problem also I have a format. It's very easy to you can crack problems on IFIs. You should be lucky enough to get problem in this sector. Correct. Who are all relatives.
Mother, father, mother's mother, mother's father, father's mother.
Hey, what is it you are telling? Is this the way they have communicated?
Spouse, children.
Not like that they have conveyed. So, one is spouse. Brother and sisters of self. Brothers and sisters of spouse of the individual. Then, any lineal brothers and sisters of either of the parents of the individual. Then lineal ascendant and descendant of the individual. Lineal ascendants and descendants of the spouse of the individual. And the spouse of the above persons. In the case of HUF, members of HUF. You can easily remember, for self, for a person, spouse. Spouse is the first relative. Second, brother and sister of self. Self means of that associate. Brothers and sisters of spouse of the individual. Next, brothers and sisters of either of the parents of the self. Any lineal ascendants and descendants of the self, that is individual. Any lineal ascendants and descendants of the spouse of the individual. Say, the last one I was just not very happy. Why they have duplicated? Ascendants and descendants of the spouse, self and spouse should be same is what one would be just thinking. It is not necessarily like that in practice. You know Ramayana? You know the character of Kaikeyi? Yes or no? Yes. What is the relationship of Rama and Kaikeyi? In this particular fitting, where is that they will be fitting? Stepmother and all that don't tell. In this relative definition, where it will be fitted? Any lineal ascendants and descendants of the spouse of the individual. For Kaikeyi, Rama is lineal descendant of the spouse of the individual. Correct, no? What is ascendant and descendants? Ascendants, father, grandfather. Descendants, children, grandchildren. So, we are all under the impression that lineal ascendants and descendants of the self, that is of the individual and the spouse should be same. No, not like that. See, descendants may be different. So, for her it should be Bharatan, descendant. For the spouse of the individual, Bharatan as well as Rama, Lakshmana and Shatrughan. Correct, no? So, I am not telling, Income Tax Act is telling. So, let us just know who are all relatives. Spouse of the individual, brother and sister of the individual, brother and sister of the spouse of the individual, brother and sister of either of the parents of the individual, any lineal descendant, ascendant and descendant of the individual, any lineal ascendant and descendant of the spouse of the individual, spouse of any other person referred above. Here also 7. Everywhere 7. Relative definition also 7. 7 items, 7 movable items. That is why with confidence you can tell it is 7. Say, maybe the order in which we tell may be different. That is why I have just said that. Tell relatives.
Spouse of the individual, brother or sister of the individual, brother or sister of the spouse of the individual, brother or sister of the either of the parents of the individual, lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual, lineal ascendant or descendant of the spouse of the individual, spouse of any of the persons.
Right. So there is only one thing which is missing. Brother and sister of either of the parents of the individual only they are given. What they are not given is brothers and sisters of either of the parents of the spouse of the individual is missing. So you should be very careful. Okay. So we had a real case on this particular issue. Fortunately, the gift was within relatives definition only. So we had a escape route. A long time, 2006-7 issue. We had a transfer of money and all that. We were caught in the sense transfer was found within relatives only. Now, in computation of income, how do we compute? Is it firstly we have to take up the case of relative, or firstly take up the case of income? How will you take up the order? Huh? So, you say, I will put it like this way. Should I have to take up the item referred firstly, or should I know about who is the person giving that particular item? So which one should be firstly looked into? Is it item or the donor? Who should be looked into firstly? No. First answer what you have given was correct. So if a first person is giving car, so whether I should take, there is non-relative giving a car. Should I take car first, or I should take the relationship first? Car. So item first, and then you have to take up the relative concept or coming under exceptional category or not. So that is number one. Then even before you could take up things on exceptional category, relatives and all that, next thing is whether it is within the limit or not. Firstly, item, whether within the limit or not, and coming under exceptional category or not, and then you have to account this as income. So what is the order in which you have to evaluate? Item, limit, falling under exceptional category, then finally you have to say whether it is income or not. Are you understanding, all of you? So you can put a tick and complete. What is that? I will just make a checklist. This checklist will enable you to work out things faster. So when you are a little systematic, no, you spend less time in confusion. So item, limit, falling under exceptional category, then whether it is income or not. So I will put up a combination. Item is tick, correct. Limit exceeded, instead of tick I will put a yes or no. Items, limit exceeded, falling under exceptional category, income or not. It is an item. It exceeded the limit. Not falling under exceptional category, then it is yes. Correct. Are you understanding, all of you? 2. If it is no, then it is not applicable at all. Then it is no.
How can we identify this? Can't we account it in bad market value or something?
Then we are about to become a finance minister. There is a reason as I am telling you. See, we will get confused. No, 2, 3 items when we take up. Which one to be taken firstly, which one to be taken secondly, thirdly, lastly, and all that we may not know. So we will feel excited. More than 50,000 catch. Firstly, it may not be an item at all. So firstly, it should be an item, then you have to catch. Correct? No? That is the way I got to look at. So when the first question is no, second, third question I will not ask at all. When a person had secured less than 40, the person's dad is asking, please check up in merit list. Say, how this could be happening? So if this is no, in merit list you will not be there at all. 3. What is that next one? Yes, yes, yes. Here it is no. Correct? No. Are you understanding? 4. Yes, no. Not applicable. I will not ask this question at all. Then this? No. Are you understanding, all of you? So, can we make note? So, as how to evaluate things, how to evaluate.